Hi there YouTube, it's Aisha and this is going to be a review for the Crossfire series by Sylvia Day. And so far it's Bare to You, Reflected in You, and Entwined with You. Captivated with You comes out sometime this year in 2014 and it's one of my most highly anticipated books. I don't even know when it comes out, but when it comes out and I can pre-order, I'm pre-ordering that bitch. But first, let's start with Bare to You. We're introduced to Gideon Cross, which is what the series is named after, the Crossfire series, and to Eva. To Eva, who is the one that's telling the story here. And we start to learn some good stuff about her and some bad stuff about her and some scary stuff about her. And we get a hint of the scary from Gideon. Gideon is a powerful, enigmatic, sexy as hell man who is, of course, a multi-billionaire in New York City. And Eva has moved from California to New York City and she is working in the Crossfire building in a separate business. And she's the administrative assistant to, I can't even remember his name. He's such a non-entity. He becomes a good friend of hers, but I only care about him. I only care about Gideon, Eva, and Gary. Um, so Carrie. So Eva and her best friend Carrie have moved from California and they live together in a really great apartment in New York City. And Carrie is a model slash actor who's on the come up, and Eva is now working as the administrative assistant in this architectural firm that is pitching a business to Gideon Cross. She and Gideon meet in the Crossfire building and they have a sparktastic meeting. One in which I wanted to punch his teeth in. He says something to Eva that's a trigger for her and she shuts him down cold and moves on. But he doesn't. Gideon decides he needs to know everything there is to know about Eva and he comes at her guns blazing, balls to the wall. He wants her and Eva is running full-fledged the other way. I totally get why she does it. And then he manages to snag her and it's blazing up the pages, burning up the sheets, rip the sheets off the bed kind of fun. And we get to know so much about them and I really enjoyed getting to know it. And then it kind of gets dark. We learn where Eva comes from and why what he said in the first few chapters was a trigger for her, and I'm just clutching my chest like, oh my mother freaking god. Just some people shouldn't be allowed to live. Then we get their building of a story, and of course there's always an ex that never wants to let go. Then there's crazy people doing stuff. Very mysterious. Thrown in. If you've ever read a Sylvia Day book, you know that the action keeps coming, that the building of relationships keeps coming, that the unfolding and the peeling back of who they are keeps coming. And the sex is always, always, always good. Amazing. 5 freaking stars. Explain to you that I was 32 pages, 32 pages into this book when I jumped up with half hour left to run to Target. I live 5 minutes away. I blazed there. I was there in 3 minutes, ran inside, bought Reflected in You, and ran back home. I'd originally borrowed this from the library. I borrowed book 1 and book 3 from the library, figuring I could get book 2 from the library, but they didn't have it. I was 32 pages in and I was like, there was no way in hell I'm not going to just burn through this. I read this book in 1 day, 1 sitting, 4.5, maybe 5 hours. I loved it. Amazing introduction to the series. I loved meeting Eva. She's very balls to the wall, very strong. She is kind of broken in. She's healing, but she owns herself. You know what I mean? Like, she knows that she has these flaws and she owns them. However, her friend Carrie, where do I start? Two flawed people should not be best friends. They should not. Because my addiction feeds your addiction, which brings both of us down. Not good. Carrie has issues and refuses to admit he has issues and refuses to deal with his issues, and because of it, he becomes a drama queen that brings in issues into Eva and Gideon's relationship, and Gideon is not here for the shit, and Eva's not here for giving up her friend, and Carrie's not here for hearing anything that he doesn't want to hear, and it creates this great big spark of conflagration of foolishness between all three of them, and between Eva and Carrie, and then Eva and Gideon, and then just, no sir, get it together. But it's entertaining to read. Extremely entertaining. 5 stars. I suggest you pick it up. If you haven't read a Sylvia Day book, you definitely want to read the Crossfire series. I do want to address, I was on Goodreads and someone put up saying that this was a pulled for publishing fan fiction. It is not. 2, they tried to say this was a remake of 50 Shades of Grey. Bullshit. First and foremost, this came out a month after 50 Shades of Grey. So it would be impossible for her to write the entire series when 50 Shades of Grey was just coming out. Be real. She couldn't have cleaned up and written it to this level of awesome. This is what 50 Shades of Grey wishes it could be. This is way, way better. And I'm not dissing people who love 50 Shades. This was phenomenal. This was better. The relationships were better. The conversations were good. If you love 50 Shades of Grey, then you're going to love the hell out of the Crossfire series. If you didn't like 50 Shades of Grey, you're going to love the hell out of the Crossfire series because it's so well written. If you're looking for an introduction into erotica and light BDSM, Bare to You in the Crossfire series is where you want to go. Be warned. There is discussion of sexual violence. There is discussion of previous child abuse. So if you need a trigger warning all over the place. Phenomenally written. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I highly recommend it. I read this book because I previously read her 7 Years to Sin. I read that as an e-arc a couple of years ago. And everyone was saying Bare to You was coming out based on 7 Years to Sin. And I was like, if she can write something better than 7 Years to Sin, I am here for it. I read the entire series in 3 days. Freaking phenomenal. Bought my own copies like right after. Amazing. 5 stars. If you've read the series, let me know what you think down below. Share your comments about Bare to You. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What do you think? Did you think it was a pulled for fan fiction as well? Did you think it was a 50 Shades remake? Let me know what you thought. Share all your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.